Malayan Banking Berhad, popular as Maybank, is the biggest financial services organization in Malaysia and one of the outstanding banking organizations in the ASEAN subcontinent. The bank was established in 1916 and has now expanded to become a universal bank, providing a complete range of retail, corporate, investment, and Islamic banking services in 18 countries. Overview of the Maybank. Maybank has a wide range of products and services that include conventional commercial banking and internationally acclaimed Islamic banking division, investment banking, insurance and asset management. The focus of Maybank is based on humanizing financial services, which is the central of philosophy of the company, with the emphasis on customer centricity and the development of the community. Competitive environment of the banking industry. The Malaysian and regional banking sector is a highly competitive and regulated environment. In the domestic market, Maybank has to compete with established competitors like CIMB Bank, the market leader in retail and SME segment, and digitally advanced competitors such as Hong Leong Bank. At the same time, strict regulatory frameworks in regards to capital adequacy, anti-money laundering (AML), and data privacy require substantial investment in operation.
Good day everyone. Today I'll presenting Maybank's financial ratio analysis from 2014 to 2024. The first graph shows Maybank's total asset. Overall, we can see a steady increase from 452.6 billion to 589.6 billion, reflecting growth and stronger financial capacity. There's a slight dip in 2018 and 2019. From 2022 onwards, total assets grow significantly, indicating expansion and improved market position. Next, we see trend of total loans and deposits. Deposits are consistently higher than loans, showing strong liquidity. Total loans peaked in 2016 and again in 2024, reflecting moderate growth in lending. Deposits show a steady upward trend, reaching 387.6 billion in 2024, which strengthens the bank's funding capacity and ability to support future lending. Moving on to this graph, compares Maybank's ROE and ROE from 2014 to 2024. ROE consistently higher than ROE, which reflects the bank's use of leverage to enhance returns. Both ratios dipped in 2020 and 2021, likely due to economic slowdowns and challenging market conditions. However, from 2022 to 2024, they recovered strongly. The fourth graph shows Maybank's cost-to-income ratio. The ratio peaked at 42.5% in 2015, reflecting higher cost relative to income, and reached its lowest in 2019, showing strong cost efficiency. From 2020 to 2021, it was stable, then rose to 35.5% in 2022 and further increase in 2024, indicating increasing cost pressures. The last graph shows Maybank's non-performing loan ratio. It is peaked in 2021, reflecting higher credit risk during that period. From 2022 to 2024, it declined steadily to 0.69%, indicating improved loan quality.
Hi doctor, I'm Kirtana Manikam, metric number 300389. I'm going to present about risk analysis. Firstly, credit risk. Credit exposure remained constantly high, rising from 519.5 million in 2014 to 733.7 billion in 2024, reflecting extensive lending activities across corporate, retail, and government sectors. Although minor fluctuations occurred between 2016 and 2018 due to portfolio adjustments and economic conditions, the overall upward trend indicates high sensitivity to borrower defaults. As a result, credit risk is classified as a high severity risk. Next is liquidity risk. Liquidity risk refers to the bank's ability to meet its short-term obligations as they fall due. Maybank's liquidity risk increased steadily from 31.1 billion in 2014 to 78.5 billion in 2024, driven by rising short-term liabilities and operational expansion. While the increase was gradual without sharp spikes, the persistent upward trend suggests increasing exposure to funding pressure during periods of financial stress. Therefore, liquidity risk is assessed as a high severity. Next is capital risk. Capital risk measures the adequacy of banks' capital in observing unexpected losses. Maybank experienced higher capital risk in earlier years, followed by a decline in 2016 and moderate fluctuations thereafter. From 2019 onwards, capital risk stabilized at around 15%, indicating improved capital management and consistency. Although the bank's capital remains sensitive to losses, it is within a manageable range, and thus capital risk is considered moderate in severity.
Assalamualaikum and good day, sir. Today I will discuss about Maybank's strategic journey integrates sustainability and ESG principles from 2014 to 2024. As a global regulatory framework tighten, we will evaluate how Maybank has aligned its treasury and lending operation with sustainable development goal SDG to create long-term value for all stakeholders. For the next slide is integration of ESG principle. Over the past decade, ESG at Maybank has evolved from a simple corporate responsibility into a core strategic framework. This evolution is the most visible in our green financial growth. We began with just 550 in 2014, and by 2024 we mobilized RM 17.65 billion, having reached a peak over RM 38 billion in 2022. Beyond financing, we have institutionalized climate risk management by implementing a strict carbon emission tracking system. We record 32 million in finance emission last year, allowing us to manage environment risk with high transparency. Finally, we recognize that our people are driver of this change. In 2024 alone, Maybank invests in over 2 million training hours to ensure our staff possess the competencies required to manage sustainable portfolios effectively in a digital age. For last slide of my presentation is implication for a stakeholder. Maybank ESG strategy is designed to create a ripple effect of value across our entire ecosystem. For our shareholders, we have built a fortress of trust through strong governance. With a board size of 13 members, we maintain 69% independence ratio and increase female representation to 38%. These diversities ensure that executive action are challenged and ethical risks are mitigated. For society, we have focused on economic empowerment through financial inclusion. Our inclusive finance volume has nearly doubled, rising from 6 billion in 2014 to 12.18 billion in 2024. Ultimately, this initiative ensure we meet the demand of regulators while providing customer and marginalized community with the tools for sustainable growth. By balancing profit with purpose, Maybank continues to human financial service for the future.
Maybank, a C banking leader, faces a complex convergence of strategic challenge. Facing the challenge of optimizing its profitability, investing heavily in building the necessary infrastructure as a strategy for sustainability in the long term. Domestic and regional challenge faced by the banks is the pressure on the net interest margin, steady decline from 2.31 in 2014 to a decade of low 1.13 in 2024. Challenge faced by the Malaysian banking landscape in maintaining the spreads in a fluctuating OPR environment. Facing increasing costs as it enhances its digital strengths when operating expenses have been rising from 4.21 billion in 2014 to 6.89 billion in 2024. Maybank is having to spend heavily in the way of cybersecurity expenses, which touch a considerable 1.19 billion in 2024. The bank is still exposed to international trends of fraud, having registered fraud losses of 574 million in the year. The stability and resilience of the bank are also challenged by economic shocks, including the negative 3.2% contraction in GDP in 2020, and these have contributed to the quality of the bank assets. The bank has experienced a strong NPL ratio of 0.69% in the year 2024. The total credit risk exposure of 728.09 billion in the face of the current state of the global economy. The bank remains cautious on global geopolitical tensions and inflationary pressure that could make an impact on repayment capacity of the retail and SME segment locally and in ASEAN itself.
I am Vinoda Muniandi and my matrix number is 303597. I want to present the recommendation of our report. Based on our analysis, several key recommendations can be proposed to strengthen Maybank's future performance. First, to improve performance, Maybank should enhance operational efficiency through greater digitalization and automation, especially in treasury and credit processing functions. This will help control the rising cost to income ratio and offset the impact of declining net interest margins. At the same time, the bank should continue diversify its income by expanding fee-based services, wealth management, and Islamic bank products. Second, in terms of risk mitigation, although Maybank's non-performing loan ratio has improved, credit and liquidity risk remain high due to the scale of lending activities. Therefore, stronger credit monitoring using forward looking economic indicators and improved liquidity stress testing are necessary to ensure financial stability. Lastly, for sustainability improvements, Maybank should continue expanding green and sustainable financing while integrating climate risk into credit and capital allocation decisions. Strengthening ESG governance and employee training will further support long term resilience and stakeholder confidence. In conclusion, this study examined Maybank's performance, risk exposure, and sustainability practices from 2014 to 2024 using data from annual and sustainability reports. The findings show that Maybank has achieved steady asset growth and a recovery in profitability in recent years demonstrating strong financial resilience. However, declining net interest margins and rising operating costs indicates ongoing efficiency challenges. While asset quality has improved, as reflected by a lower non performing loan ratio, the bank continues to face high credit and liquidity risk due to its intensive lending operations. In terms of sustainability, Maybank has made significant progress in integrating ESG principles, particularly through green financing growth and strong governance practices. Overall, the study highlights the importance of efficient cost management, proactive risk control, and sustainable banking strategies to ensure Maybank's long term stability and value creation. Thank you.